After Let It Die's Deathverse beta, a lot of us walked away wondering when it was going to release, and also when we were going to have to make a very big purchase if we wanted to play it at decent frame rate and good stability. And frankly, I remember Deathverse being announced with PlayStation, I thought. So a lot of us assumed that it was going to be a Sony exclusive for a couple months, and then later, hopefully, God help us, be on PC. But alas, we had no words. We also had no release date, and it seemed like a lot of things happened within Deathverse's publishing cycle, essentially. And now we have the amazing information, the absolute huge, massive, my wallet is thanking you, Deathverse. I did not want to buy a console for a whole has 2 games, even though one of them is God of War, and I'm jealous that people are going to be playing it like smooth butter. Still going to play it, just going to be on old-ass console. But yeah, regardless, ladies and gentlemen, Deathverse is coming to PC, aka Steam. It's going to have the full support, the full shebang. The one thing I would love the developers to respond to is if they are ever even considering crossplay. I want to know if they're considering crossplay. If they are, that would be awesome, just so that we can all kind of play together. It also increases the lifespan of a game a lot, being able to play with console people, etc. Another thing that they talked about, which by the way, this isn't a live stream that is on the Senpai Death channel, which is kind of where we're getting updates on the game. Go to subscribe to that if you haven't already. But basically, in one of these live streams, they break down that not only that it's coming to PC, but it looks like they've added traps in the arenas, which is cool. More traps, a little bit more enemies and things like that. It also seemed like they made shield better, and they kind of were just breaking down the general gameplay loop of Deathverse. You know, you're in a zone, you're beating monsters up, you're gaining points, you're gaining idolation, all that kind of stuff, and that gives you power. And as the match goes on, as enemies die, you can gain more points just to keep it kind of fair. One thing that we could see though is that they did change the UI so that the giant like fervor kind of like applause is not at the very top of the screen taking up a lot of real estate. It's just in a nice little bar in the bottom left corner. Love that change. Seems like it's way easier to see. Not only that, but it did seem like they increased the hunter. The hunters weren't very like deadly, but I think they increased the hunter's speed to where they look like they're much more faster, and when they lock onto you, you're gonna need to do a lot more bobbing and weaving. You can't just run away, like run in a straight line, because their attack speed will catch up to you. Whereas you need to jump out, down, up, around, and try to get away from them as soon as possible. So they made hunters a little bit more deadly, neat. And other than that, they basically just described like things like weapons and mushrooms and how you're basically going to play the game. But still no release date yet. They said that they might be coming in the next live stream. I would really hope they would answer the crossplay question if they're even interested in that. I think it would be good for the game. But alas, ladies and gentlemen, I will continue to keep you up to date on everything Deathverse when there is content to cover, as well as anything on Let It Die when there is content to cover. I'm your man. But if you wanted some other content that is very, very fun, and a game that is free and interesting and fun to play that I'm enjoying a lot, that we have a crew and a guild in, is Tower of Fantasy. I just made a video on that in the Brothers Grin channel. Check that out if you're interested in the game. It's what you should do every day. Also, we stream just about everything, and when Deathverse comes out, we are going to be streaming that, of course. Thank you kindly for your time. Hopefully I can see you again, and goodbye, my friends.